morning, Liverpool class, and welcome again. I hope that you had a lovely half-term break and that you enjoyed the sunshine. Now then, as you can see that I've been reading you the Twits by Roald Dahl. Okay, thinking that we would do some character descriptions of the Twits. Now then, I would like you to have a look at this picture of Mr Twit. What a scruffy old man he was. Now then, we're going to think of adjectives to describe his appearance. That means what he looks like. Have a look at him. Can you remember some of the adjectives that they use? Like he was a smelly old man. He had revolting tufts, didn't he, coming out of his nostrils and ears. Have a think for a minute what adjectives you could use to describe Mr Twit. Can you turn them into an expanded noun phrase? Let's have a look at the ones that I've thought. He had them revolting tufts, didn't he? He was filthy dirty, quite matted skin. That means matted. Matted skin, matted hair. He was unclean, wasn't he? He never washed or bathed. He was shabby. That means he didn't look very nice. Bristly hairs, all disgusting. Long scruffy beard, because he never had it cut, did he? Looked quite disgusting. Now then, his character. This is, what kind of person is Mr Twit? He wasn't a nice person, was he? Or a kind, thoughtful person. Look at the words that I thought. He thought he was clever and wise, but he was quite silly and daft. He was foul in all of his behaviours, wasn't he? How he ate. He was really thoughtless to his wife and unkind, careless with all the food that he'd got all over his beard. He was wicked and evil. He was always scheming up some plans. Now then, let's have a look at my description of Mr Twit. Let me read it to you. Mr Twit was a very hairy-faced man because he never cut his hair or his beard. His beard looked matted and tangled because he never washed it when he ate his lunch, so there were leftover bits of food in his beard. Mr Twit was a smelly old man, and he looked extremely filthy all the time from not bathing or washing. All of his face was covered in thick hair, and he even had disgusting tufts sprouting out of his nostrils and ear holes. Mr Twit thought he was clever and wise, but in fact he was quite the opposite. He did foolish things and behaved in a daft manner, like putting a frog in his wife's bed. Mr Twit was a mean, thoughtless and selfish old man, as he was always plotting unkind tricks on his wife. Now you can see them words in red are all the adjectives that we've used to describe him. And we've also tried to put in a noun phrase. He was a smelly old man, wasn't he? Now then, I think you can remember the ones that are highlighted in blue as being conjunctions. Just have a look at the ones in green. Mr Twit was a mean, thoughtless and selfish old man, as he was always plotting unkind tricks on his wife. Mean. What's that after it? What's that punctuation mark? Yes, you're right. It's commas as lists. You're making a list of his character. So you put a comma, but we never have a comma before the and. Let's have a look at wives. Let's read that sentence again. He did foolish things and behaved in a daft manner, like putting a frog in his wife's bed. Now then, we have an apostrophe S. Can we remember? It's called possessive apostrophe, isn't it? Because it's possessive means it's belonging to you. So it was the bed belonged to the wife. So it's the wife's bed. So before the S, we put an apostrophe to demonstrate it's belonging to her, possessive. Now then, your task, you're going to have a think of Mrs. Twit now, okay? Think about her appearance. She definitely had. Look at the ones that I've thought of, look. Hairy face, ugly, weird glass eye, long wonky nose, spiky hair. She had a double chin. It was quite wobbly too. A wobbly double chin, we could say. Got lots of noun phrases in this one. Stick out teeth. Ancient. She's quite a huge lady, wasn't she? Could say large. She was unkempt. That means that she's not very clean. Crooked mouth. She was quite strange, wasn't she? She looked a bit odd. Strange. Now, she was quite similar to Mr Twit, wasn't she? She was nasty and horrid. She was vindictive, Mr Twit was. He was always scheming to get her back. He wanted to get her back, or he wanted to get her back, didn't he? She was fearless. She'd do anything. Yeah. And she was quite silly, daft, stupid, we could say. I was trying to think of other words. But yeah, vindictive, getting your own back. If Mrs. Twit did something to Mr. Twit, Mr. Twit was vindictive and he'd want to get her back, wouldn't he? I like that word, vindictive. Now then, your description of Mrs. Twit. I put, can you now write your own description of Mrs. Twit? Ensure every sentence has a capital letter, full stop and finger spaces. Remember, capital letters for names, and try and use some of them conjunctions, and, or, so, but, because. Can you write a commas list sentence? I've given you an example. Look, Mrs. Twit was and. Check your work for accurate spellings. Go back and see. Maybe you could, if you've got a word mat of them year 1 and 2 spellings. Email or tweet me your work. I would love to see it. I'm always very happy when you send me your work. Happy learning, everybody, and I hope we shall see each other soon. Take care.